It's Friday. Welcome to Tesla Shorts Time, Daily, episode 515. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Today is June 19th, 2026. Let's see how Tesla is heading into the weekend. Tesla's new lowest price Cybertruck trim begins deliveries this week at $59,990. The entry-level Cybertruck trim at $59,990 started reaching early buyers this week. The model drops certain range and feature options found on higher trims. It gives Tesla a lower starting price in the pickup segment than previous configurations. Deliveries will show how demand responds at this new price point. This marks the first real test of volume potential at the revised price level. From pricing pressure in the US pickup segment, the story now turns to regulatory pressure on autonomy features in Europe. Danish regulators cleared Tesla's supervised FSD package for use. The approval covers current supervised operation on public roads. It adds another EU country where the feature can be activated after local testing. Sweden's Transport Authority recommended the EU reject the supervised FSD package unless the system is altered to prevent exceeding posted speed limits. The stance adds another national voice to ongoing European reviews of driver assistance rules. The outcome will influence whether other member states adopt similar restrictions. From European regulatory friction on software, attention now shifts to a hardware-related legal claim also tied to future FSD capability. A group of 7,000 HW3 owners joined a claim alleging hardware limitations for future unsupervised FSD. A law firm has taken on the case for potential collective proceedings. Tesla has not commented on the specific allegations. The next milestone is whether the claim advances to formal litigation. From questions about existing hardware capability, the focus moves to a new patent aimed at improving efficiency on future vehicles. Tesla's new design pairs low-rate parallel air springs with series dampers for most ride duties. The active actuator only corrects when needed, cutting energy use compared with fully active systems. The approach draws from the 1998 Lincoln Mark 8 air suspension, but adds passive dominant tuning. This could help preserve range on vehicles that already carry heavy battery packs. Tesla First Principles looks at the energy budget trade-offs here. The patent returns to a 1998 Lincoln Mark 8 layout, but flips the energy budget. Instead of an always active hydraulic or electromagnetic actuator fighting every bump, the design lets passive air springs and dampers absorb most road inputs. Only the moments that exceed the passive envelope trigger the powered element. That single change cuts continuous power draw and therefore battery energy that would otherwise be lost as heat. Every watt kept out of the suspension is a watt still available for propulsion or climate control. On a vehicle whose mass is already dominated by the battery pack, even modest reductions in auxiliary loads compound over a full charge cycle. The deeper question is whether this hybrid passive plus corrective approach scales to the next generation of vehicles, or remains a niche efficiency tweak. From the suspension patent, the episode turns to Tesla's physical expansion in India and Iceland. Tesla opened a new experience center in Hyderabad and scaled local delivery and service teams. The move increases physical presence in one of India's fastest-growing tech corridors. It follows earlier service expansions in other major Indian cities. Tesla also marked a new operational step in Iceland with expanded local presence. The development adds another European market with dedicated support infrastructure. It follows steady growth in Nordic registrations and service coverage. From physical retail and service growth, the next update covers software-side convenience changes for owners. Version 4.5.8.0 introduces Charge Stats V2, Android Live notifications, and a top-down view for the Tesla Semi. Owners can now see more granular charging history and real-time status without opening the app. The update applies across current vehicle software versions. Release notes list the exact feature additions. From owner-facing software tweaks, the story moves to a new market incentive that could affect sales. The Model 3 qualified for China's 2026 Rural Electric Vehicle Purchase Incentives. The list includes 155 models eligible for local rebates and tax breaks. Inclusion could support sales in lower-tier cities where price sensitivity remains high. Tesla has not disclosed expected volume impact from the program. From policy support in China, the lens widens to a new competitive threat in the Model Y price band. Patent images show Lucid's planned Cosmos SUV positioned near the Model Y price band. The vehicle targets similar size and utility as the Model Y and upcoming Rivian R2. Lucid has not released final specs or timing yet. The design filing gives the first clear look at exterior proportions. From rival product plans, real-world efficiency data on Tesla's own vehicles provides a benchmark. Real-world tests measured how closely several 2025 EVs matched WLTP range claims. The Tesla Model Y landed in the middle of the group for achieved versus advertised distance. BYD models showed both the smallest and largest gaps depending on the variant. The data covers mixed driving conditions on Australian roads. From efficiency testing, the final item looks at fleet-level adoption decisions. Green Bay Police added Tesla vehicles to its patrol fleet as part of a broader EV transition. The department cited lower operating costs and reduced emissions as decision factors. No specific model counts or delivery timeline were released. Other municipal fleets will watch for maintenance and winter range performance data. The longer wheelbase Model YL adds vehicle-to-load power outlets for the first time on a Tesla SUV. Reviewers noted improved rear legroom and a smoother ride over the standard Model Y. The changes target family and utility buyers in right-hand drive markets. Production and pricing details for other regions remain pending. The review appears in the Driven and highlights the added versatility for utility tasks. Observers note this marks the initial rollout of V2L capability on any Tesla SUV variant. No timeline has been given for similar updates on other Tesla models. Recent posts note that reported incidents involving Tesla's supervised robotaxi tests occurred only after another driver made contact. The pattern suggests the system itself has not initiated collisions in the limited public data shared so far. Observers are tracking whether this holds as testing expands beyond controlled routes. A recent comment from Elon Musk referenced guiding the car like an Uber driver and mentioned a 3-month horizon. Owners are debating whether this points to an expanded summon-style feature or something closer to unsupervised parking. The timing follows a recent speed upgrade to the existing summon function. One account highlighted ongoing friction between Tesla's FSD ambitions and European approval processes. The post noted that certain speed limit and safety rule differences continue to slow rollout. This sits alongside separate national-level reviews already underway. Reports show roughly 90% of Amazon's disclosed EV-related holdings sit in a single, non-Tesla company. The position reflects a bet on a different part of the supply chain or vehicle segment. It underscores that institutional money is spreading across multiple EV plays. The disclosure appears in recent portfolio filings covered by Google News. No Tesla allocation details were broken out in the same filing. The concentration highlights how large investors continue to diversify exposure beyond any single EV maker. Elon Musk converted a large block of Tesla options, increasing his ownership stake. The move locks in gains from earlier compensation packages and signals continued alignment with the company's long-term trajectory. It comes amid ongoing discussion about future capital allocation. The transaction value reached $114 billion, according to Not a Tesla app. Updated ownership figures were filed after the conversion. No immediate sale of shares was reported in the same filing. Now, one thing worth watching is the pushback from Sweden on FSD. Sweden's Transport Authority recommended the EU reject Tesla's supervised FSD package unless the system is altered to prevent exceeding posted speed limits. The stance adds another national voice to ongoing European reviews of driver assistance rules. Tesla would need to demonstrate compliance changes before broader approval can proceed. The outcome will influence whether other member states adopt similar restrictions. The new suspension patent returns to a 1998 Lincoln Mark 8 layout, but flips the energy budget. Instead of an always active hydraulic or electromagnetic actuator fighting every bump, the design lets passive air springs and dampers absorb most road inputs. Only the moments that exceed the passive envelope trigger the powered element. That single change cuts continuous power draw and therefore battery energy that would otherwise be lost as heat. Every watt kept out of the suspension is a watt still available for propulsion or climate control. On a vehicle whose mass is already dominated by the battery pack, even modest reductions in auxiliary loads compound over a full charge cycle. Rivals that rely on fully active systems must either accept the range penalty or add still more battery capacity, both of which affect cost and weight. Keep an eye on whether other Nordic regulators follow Denmark's approval path or align with Sweden's stance in the coming weeks. That covers it for today's Tesla developments. TSLA closed at $400.49, up $4.11, 1%. Share this episode with a fellow Tesla enthusiast if you found it useful, and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's episode. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for being here. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give Models and Agents a listen, your daily briefing on AI models and agents. You can explore the whole lineup at neuranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.